From Mayville High School, welcome to the Thursday Night Throwdown on WSN. Tonight, it's a Week 8 clash in the Flyweight Conference featuring the Fond du Lac St. Mary's Springs Academy Ledgers taking on the Mayville Cardinals. And greetings, everybody. Bob Brainerd, along with the Hall of Fame coach. He's Dan Brunner. John Pearson joins us from the sidelines shortly. Dan, this matchup in the Flyweight Conference, it's always a good one, but especially of late where the Cardinals have had the number of the Ledgers.
Yeah, they have. They've won the last three, and they're coming off a state championship runner-up season, so they're coming into this game with a lot of confidence.
A lot of confidence, and senior night here as well for the Cardinals. Now, the Ledgers under legendary coach Bob Hyland, for many years they've run the wing T offense. Yep. They still do it, but they've tweaked a little bit more spread thrown in there, and that has made their quarterback even more comfortable in his skin.
Absolutely. Max Bauer, typically you see the Ledgers running, as you said, a wing T. They've gone to more of a shotgun spread, take a little more burden off of him as an option quarterback. He still is an effective dual-threat quarterback in this offense, though.
Puts a lot of pressure on this Mayville defense to try to slow this Ledgers offensive train down, and they've got just the guy who will be licking his chops to try to do that.
Oh, yeah, Cole Ligas. He's a two-way guy, but he earns his bread and butter on the defensive line, and he will spend a lot of time in the Ledger backfield if they don't keep him from doing that. He will be a force tonight.
Week 8, the Thursday Night Throwdown here in the Flyweight Conference between Springs and Mayville. Kickoff is coming up next.
I love living in Kewanee, Wisconsin because the skies are blue, smell of the fresh green grass. It's just a beautiful place to live. I love it. You love your animals, you love what you're doing, you love everything about farming, and you want to carry on those traditions. That's why we dairy farm.
Back here at Mayville High School, Dan and I shot that open pre-recorded just in time because as soon as that happened earlier, about 20 minutes ago, we had a rain shower that blasted through, but the rains have stopped. It's just going to make this grass field a little soggier for this Week 8 showdown between Springs and Mayville. And that means Bob Hyland got a chance to get the rain slicker out. Look at that. That's not a typo, ladies and gentlemen. His 53rd season as a head coach, all of them at Springs. You see the amount of games he has played. He's been the head coach at Springs. You can see the wins. No one, Dan, in the state of Wisconsin has won more football games or participated in more football games than Bob Hyland.
Yeah, and it's not just Wisconsin. I mean, he's right up there in the nation in terms of that tenure.
Still has the fire in the belly, too. He's got this Springs team rolling here, unbeaten at 7-0, 5-0 in Flyweight Conference play. They've got a big one as well on tap next week, but Bob doesn't want to even talk about Week 9. He knows that Mayville, as Dan said, they have had the number of Springs the last 3 seasons. Mayville has won this football matchup, so Springs knows it. They remember that. They would like to keep the unbeaten train rolling here in Week 8. Mayville won the toss. They deferred. So they will boot the football here in the first half. Cardinals are in the traditional cardinal and white.
Yep.
Springs in the traveling white with the blue. Back to receive Jameson Ahern and Brendan Giertig. And Elijah Milsna will tee it up and boot the football here for the Cardinals. So the rain came, about a little 10-minute shower, got everybody wet during the senior night introductions, but dry now and ready for football.
Yeah, it turned into just a beautiful evening for football now that the rains have passed through.
And here we go. From Mayville, Wisconsin, low line drive, and it's fielded, picked up at the 19-yard line. That's Ahern with it, and Ahern still on his feet down the sidelines. So Jameson Ahern just kept churning as the blockers kept giving him a lane.
Yeah, you see, he bobbled the ball, picked it up, and still got a lane to proceed down that left sideline.
Ahern's one of the wide receivers in this offense. And Max Bauer at the controls. Dan talked about him. 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but he's also run for 6 on the ground.
He's a talented quarterback. Again, a dual threat. He's, got 488 yards and 6 TDs running, and he can do it through the air too.
He's also a baseball player at Springs with a strong arm, and he uses that slinging this football around. Snap and the give, and not much running room that time. J.T. Koenigs, the senior running back.
Yeah, you'll see on the replay here, Braden Weiglein shot through like a rocket from his middle linebacker position for no gain.
Koenigs has been battling some nagging injuries as the season has gone on. No gain there, 2nd down and 10. Looking to throw. Caught. And then you talk about moving the feet and just keep on going. John Kuhn with a 1st down. Little bob on the catch, Dan, but then after that, all good.
Yeah, really nice job after the catch. You'll see here on the replay. He hits him. He's open. Oh, bobbles it, hauls it in, breaks a couple tackles, moves the sticks.
Kuhn's listed as the tight end, but the wing back in this offense, they'll line him up all over the football field. Quarterback keeper, Bauer, and lowers the head, gets about 2 yards on the carry to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Kasten Zimmer, outside linebacker, stopped him for minimal gain.
It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Zimmer's interesting, number 36 from Mayville. He didn't come out for football a year ago. Decided to come out this year, and they said they're glad he did. I mean, he just loves to hit, and he can cover out of the backfield.
Yeah, the Cards were like, Kasten, where you been?
Yeah.
2nd and 9. Bauer pulls it back in. Time to throw. Deep ball. And incomplete. That was intended for Brody Highland. Yep. That is another Highland. That is the grandson of Coach Bob Highland.
Yeah, final grandson. So, everybody knew for years and years that he wanted to coach all his grandsons. And this is the last one coming through.
We spoke too soon. The rain has started again on this opening drive by Springs. 3rd and 9 with the ball at the 35. Ahern split at the bottom. Bauer on the give. Strong piece of running there by Koenigs. Doesn't get the 1st down, but brings up 4th down from the 22-yard line.
Yeah, you see in a replay, Ligas just missed him in the backfield, would have been a loss. Coming up from his free safety position, Jordan Schlender made that tackle.
Bentley Coots is a freshman kicker. He replaced another freshman kicker who got hurt, Lucas Babler, but not going to call upon the freshman here to try a long field goal. 4th down and 6. Ledger's going for it. Bauer pulls it in, throws sideline, going up the ladder to make the catch. And the spot is enough for the 1st down. How about it?
Wow.
As John Kuhn goes airborne.
Yeah, nice. You can see right here. Nice job. Put it up high. Went up and got it. That was an outstanding catch.
And right at the 16-yard line, which is where he needed to be. So they convert on 4th down. Drive alive here on the opening drive for the Ledgers. Bauer pulled it back in. Again, trying to hold that as long as possible before Koenigs. He dove forward. Bauer went off the left end.
Yeah, you see her. Bauer, I mean, they're running a read option. That was dangerous play. That ball almost ended up on the turf had Bauer not corralled it.
I think Koenig's thought,
Yeah.
I'm getting this pigskin here, and Bauer said, nope.
Yeah.
Gain of 2, second down and 8, Springs. Bauer. Toss it. That's Sam Lucas. And Lucas tripped up a yard shy, but it'll be third down and 1. Lucas, another wing back, tight end, whatever you want to call it in this offense.
Again, it's a read option, quarterback option. Comes down the line, and probably a touchdown saving tackle by Schlender.
Third and a long 1. Inside the red zone, if you will. 18-yard line is Springs. Bauer. Koenig's blocking. Bauer trying to get to the edge. Marker comes down as Bauer gets into the end zone for the touchdown for the moment. Boy, Bauer had a head of steam with Koenig's blocking out front, but we'll check the flag. Mike Stone from Germantown is the referee. And a hold negates the touchdown.
Yeah, you see, this is a quarterback run all the way. Almost dropped again by Braden Weiglein. But a hold down the field. And Bauer knows how to lower his shoulder when he has to.
Now you saw the marker come in, so somewhere just above the Bauer run, somebody from Springs with a tug to negate 6.
Yeah, and it was pretty far down the field, so I mean, you still only have 3rd and 1.
Yeah, that's the good news. Bauer going to keep it himself, and no touchdown, but the first down, mission accomplished. Moves the chains again to the 13.
Yeah, Ligas and Pastorius. Their nose guard, very inexperienced, but making the most of his playing time and has really turned into a solid defensive lineman.
What an impressive drive by Springs, and it ain't over yet.
No.
Chewing up a lot of first quarter clock. 1st and 10 from the 13. Bauer, corner route, and it's broken up at the last second by Rodeman.
Yeah, intended for Brody Highland. There, you see on the replay here, nice ball, good coverage. Rodeman, double duty guys, their quarterback. He's also their best cover guy, and he did a great job on that one.
Yeah, he just read the eyes of Highland that time.
Yeah.
And stuck the paw up when he needed to.
Yeah, first team all-conference defensive back a year ago.
Dad Jeff is on the staff here at Mayville.
Yep.
2nd and 10. Go to the ground. Koenig's. No, I beg your pardon. Straight ahead. They fake. No, it was Koenig's.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You see on a replay, it didn't look like anything was going to develop, and all of a sudden he just goes north and south and shoots through there for a 7-yard pickup. 8-yard pickup.
Thought for a moment that Bauer pulled it back in, and glad he didn't, because Koenig's major yardage makes it 3rd down and a couple. Back to Koenig's, straight ahead this time. He's hit hard at the line of scrimmage, but he leans forward to get him close here. It's going to be 4th down and a yard.
Yeah, good, solid tackle by Parker Elbis.
So no question again here. Bob Highland says no field goal. I want to see 6 paying off on this opening drive, and we're halfway through the first period.
Yeah, no kidding.
At the 4. 4th and 1 Springs.
No.
Jump. No flag. Koenig's still grinding.
I don't know.
You saw one of the Cardinals jump, but apparently jumped back in time. And we shall see on the spot. Koenig's really running hard on this opening drive.
Going to measure.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Yeah. We see on a replay here, he was met right at the line of scrimmage by guess who? Cole Legas, number 50. And then finished off by Parker Albus. This is going to be very close.
I think so, too. How close?
Not enough.
Big stop by Mayville. Over 6 minutes of the first quarter chewed up, and Springs gets stopped inside the 5. So, Cardinals bend but do not break, and now their offense comes out. Scott Hilber, the head coach, also the OC. This is a wing T offense. So it used to be wing T against wing T when Springs was running that exclusively. Radaman, the quarterback, on 1st and 10 at the 4. Trying to get some breathing room there, just get it into the belly of Peyton Borchard.
Borchard on the carry.
Yeah, Borchard's a lone returning running back from that state championship runner-up team a year ago. Very good blocker and receiver. Typically does a good job complementing their leading rusher, Sawyer Hardesty, who they move from tight end to running back.
Borchard got a couple. 2nd down and 8. Quick give. And Borchard blasts his way to a 1st down. Little inside-outside action there, Dan.
Yep, absolutely. You see in the replay again, the guards that pull out there, the keys, their 2 pulling guards are Cole Legas and Logan Sarita.
This Springs defense has been stingy all year long. They've only given up 24 total points in the first 7 weeks of action. So when you get opportunities to get anywhere close to the end zone or anywhere close enough to get points, you better take them because this defense is really stout.
Yeah, absolutely. That carry by their leading ball carrier, Sawyer Hardesty. Again, we said he's a converted tight end, has a good burst when he gets near the goal line. And most of the time, that's the guy opponents try to stop.
Yeah,
he's number 33.
Got the target on his back.
Yep.
2nd down and 6. Radaman, again, the quick give. And pushing forward, another nice gain. Makes this 3rd down and 1. Carry there by Hardesty.
Yeah, we mentioned Cohen Radaman's defensive prowess. He's also the guy who makes that offense tick. And the quarterback in that wing T offense is the key. He handles it every down.
And that's Radaman under center here on 3rd and 1. Going to the wristband here. Toss it. Hardesty backwards.
Whoa, man.
Stacked up. And it'll bring up 4th down.
Oh,
it's a 1st down.
Got it. Wow. I thought he got stuck right.
I did too, Dan.
Line of scrimmage. Here we go again on the replay. I mean, that's a picture-perfect form tackle.
Looked like that was Noah Mole.
I think it was too,
the junior linebacker, the inside guy.
First team all-conference a year ago.
So he got the stick, but got the yard. And now looking to pass for the first time on the drive. Incomplete, intended for Borchard.
Yeah.
He's a good pass catcher out of the backfield when they need him to be.
Yeah, very good. Good blocker, good receiver. You know, as we said, he complements Hardesty really well.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. Yeah, it's a 3-4 defense that Springs runs. Again, only 24 points allowed in the first 7 weeks. Zach Wilderman is the DC, is also the associate head coach. 2nd and 10 for Scott Hilber's wing T offense. Who's got the football? Radaman does. Throws downfield and jump ball incomplete. Logan Miller was down there. Had to come back slightly, and then joining him was Brandon Giertig to help break it up.
Yeah, you see her good fake, good blocking up front. Radaman gets out, and it's not that easy to throw when you're rolling to your left and downfield because he had Logan open.
That was Ahern, actually. Jameson Ahern, the free safety back there that broke it up. So now 3rd down and 10. Couple of passing attempts by the Cards. They've missed the connection. And perhaps a passing down here as well from the 26. Radaman flushed and tipped, and one of the linemen caught it.
Legas.
Yeah.
Legas on the reception.
Yeah. You don't get many of those 50, so.
No, it's illegal unless, like you said, Bob, the ball's tipped.
Yeah, somebody from Springs will see who got their mitts on it.
And he's trying to get it to Borchard here. Just dump it off, but no, it gets tipped, and Legas alertly catches it. But a nice tackle by Tate Schoofs.
I think Schoofs was who got his mitts on it too, so. Field at the 44-yard line. Slipping tackles. Nice return once again. Giertig gets him to midfield, beyond midfield, I beg your pardon. So terrific field position again to start the second drive of the night for Springs. Scoreless first quarter. 31-0 win over Lomira a week ago. Springs to keep the record unbeaten. Cardinals took care of North Fond du Lac last week. A game both teams want to have for different reasons. 1st and 10 from the 43, and before the snap, we had some movement.
Yeah, John Kuhn had a little movement.
John Kuhn, not related to the former Packer fullback. Different spelling of the last name, in fact. So 1st and 15 now, back at the 48. Kyle Krieger is the offensive coordinator, again, instilling the shotgun spread here at Springs, trying to take advantage of the athleticism of Max Bauer, who tucks it and goes. And Bauer showing off his wheels. Bauer down the sidelines, 20, 15. Bauer going to get into the end zone. Nope. Stepped out of bounds right about the 10-yard line, and Bauer thought, oh, I got the 6. That was wiped away in the penalty, but what a great run nonetheless.
Yeah, you see in a replay, it looked like a quarterback draw all the way, set up the pass, beat everybody down the sideline, and just got nudged on the sideline at the 10.
But 1st and goal, Springs. Couldn't finish the opening drive of this contest, trying to change that narrative on this drive. It's Bauer again calling his own number, zigzagging on the cutback. Makes his way to the 5-yard line, 2nd and goal from there. Yeah, it wasn't, the offense wasn't tweaked, Dan, just for Bauer. He had a role in it, but you're trying to take advantage of these wing backs, these receivers. I mean, there's a lot of athleticism in there. You see Lucas, number 1, is a big target. So that's why Kyle Krieger said, hey, I think we can do some really good things with all these athletes. Koenig's one of them. He's met and greeted and tossed down at the 3-yard line by Hardesty. Under a minute to go in the first, 3rd and goal for Springs.
Yeah, you can see right here. Again, he's running the read option yet. That time he decided to give, and as you said, Hardesty got him short of the goal line.
This Cards defense tasked again to try to come up with a stop. On 3rd and goal, Bauer follows his blockers, gets into the end zone, touchdown Springs. That was a patient run for 6, Dan.
Yeah.
And this time the drive pays off in the end zone.
Yeah, he did a nice job, you see here, just following his blockers. The backs pitched in. He had good blocking by Caden Pitts, the center, Noah Mole, the left guard, Schwartz, the left tackle, and Cannon Cluck, the right guard. But also, you saw a nice block in there by John Kuhn, who moved into the slot position that time.
Here's that freshman, Bentley Coots, for the extra point. Kick is good. 7-0. Ledgers here, late stages of the first quarter.
Yeah, good push there. You see them get in there. And as you mentioned before, Bob, what a credit to Coach Hyland to adapt to his personnel and not be, rigidly locked into, hey, this is what we always do. Sometimes your personnel doesn't fit what you always used to do. And to his credit, he's adapted to this offense.
Yeah, and he trusts the generals that he has underneath him. We mentioned Zach Wilderman, who may be the head coach in waiting.
Yep.
Bob Hyland said, I hope he is when I decide to retire, but Bob's not going anywhere for a while. And again, Kyle Krieger, his OC.
Yeah.
So that drive pays off after the short punt, and Springs will kick it off once again.
Yeah, Bryce Hilber, who's the defense coordinator for Mayville, who happens to be Scott's Hilber's nephew. I mean, he's kind of had his back against the wall with field position the first 2 drives.
John Kuhn does the kickoff chores here. Short kick, fielded at the 23-yard line. That's Austin Thorson. And that's where the Cardinals will set up shop here. Their second time on offense. At the 35.
Concessions are located behind the stand. Please get your refreshments and support the Mayville Music Department.
Well, they just made the concessions announcement here, Dan. They have they have the homemade cookie dough, which I sampled before the game. And man, on the give, Borchard, and he's stacked up. But still leans forward for a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Clock might wind down here.
Yeah, they won't get another playoff.
Can I go get cookie dough now? Do I have time? Probably not.
You can call DoorDash. I think they'll bring it up here.
I wish. 7-0. Springs leading the Cardinals here in Mayville, Wisconsin. It's the Thursday night throwdown, the Week 8 edition, second quarter when we return. We're back here in Mayville. 7-0 Springs. The unbeaten Ledgers trying to stay that way. I mentioned they've got a big Week 9 matchup as well. After this one, Winnebago Lutheran next Friday. Winnebago Lutheran going into their game tomorrow is also unbeaten. So that game, if Springs takes care of business here tonight and Lutheran does as well, that could be a battle of unbeatens in the conference championship for the flyaway on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that Winnebago Lutheran team is really good.
But first things first, got to settle the score here between the Cardinals and the Ledgers. 2nd down and 8 for Mayville. Pushing. And then on the backside for the takedown is Caden Pitts, 2-way player. Dan talked about him snapping the football. There he is, coming up with the tackle. A gain of only 1.
Yeah, and they get good run support from all their DBs. including on that play Sam Lucas.
So 3rd and 7 for Mayville. Yeah, it's a stingy D. We talked about it. Only 24 points allowed.
3rd and 7 for the Cardinals.
3rd and 7 here for the Cards. Rodman, little play action, sets up shop, slips, throws in the flat to Borchard, but he ain't going anywhere, folks.
Yeah, it's
Fourth down for the Cardinals.
little crossbuck boot pass action, and then it's a throwback screen.
Brings up 4th down. Got to boot the football. Hardesty will do the honors. Back to field it. Ahern and Giertig. Line drive, knuckleball. Giertig. Still on his feet. And nice return out to the 37-yard line. 3rd possession on offense for the Ledgers, leading at 7-0. John Pearson, let's hear from you on the sidelines.
We don't get politically incorrect on here, but politics is a big part of St. Mary Springs' team, especially on the top of the student council. John Kuhn, Jamison Ahern, and Max Bauer are the president, vice president, and treasurer of the student council. They've done fundraisers for the Salvation Army warming shelter, as well as for Holy Family Catholic Community, and of course a Jeans and Sweats Day fundraiser for the MAC Fund. And I thought I had some breaking political news that none of the three will be asked back next year as president, vice president, and treasurer. Well, nothing controversial. It turns out they're graduating, so no big deal.
By the way, John, happy birthday. John is celebrating a birthday, and he said no place I'd rather celebrate than in Mayville.
Yep, that's what he said.
That's why we're here. So glad to have John down on the field. He stayed dry somehow. I don't know how, but nice run there.
Yeah.
Into Cardinals territory at the 49-yard line. And on the quick give, inside trap play to Kuhn, and Kuhn takes off, change of direction. Kuhn high-stepping it. Kuhn going to score. Touchdown Ledgers. What an impressive run by John Kuhn.
That was impressive. You know, they say that John Kuhn is their fastest player. I don't think you're going to get any arguments on that after that play. You can see starts off to the right. Great blocking out in front. Breaks the tackle, and then it cuts back and just outruns everybody to the end zone.
So that goes as a touchdown run for Kuhn. He's also caught 3 TDs through the air. Coots to try to tack on one more. And nope, blocked. Swallowed up by Wieglein. Braden got in there, so it's 13-0 Springs. Another look at the run. Yeah, once he got in the open, Dan, that's when he turns on the Jets.
Yeah, and then he sees an opening off the left sideline, and he just outraces everybody to the end zone.
Those businesses include the Meeting Place, Don Ramone's, Leroy Meats, Cardinal Lane, Big Music, The Stand, D&D Pizza,
So
Quick Trip,
Kuhn
Coffee House,
makes it 13-0. Athletes aren't born, they're built through hard work, dedication, and chocolate milk. Chocolate milk is the drink that elite athletes turn to for recovery. Need a competitive edge? Then drink chocolate milk. It's brought to you by the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin.
It'd be good to have that
With the cookie
chocolate milk washed down the cookie dough.
Yes.
Yeah.
You read my mind, partner.
And then stay up for a couple days.
They said they always sell out of the cookie dough. And I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
Chase Merritt is back. Gets his mitts on this one. Head of steam, Merritt.
He's got an opening.
He does. 40-45. Midfield, banged out of bounds. is Chase Merritt. Great return,
Yeah.
solid hit. Cards in business here in Springs territory.
Yeah, you can see good blocking up front. He sees the alley and scoots up toward that right sideline, and it gets banged out of bounds.
That's Kuhn. I think it was Kuhn. Kuhn's all over the field.
Yeah, he is. You know what? I think it was Brody Highland. That wasn't it, number 5? That was in on that too.
It was just a blur, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Here's a
Whoa.
big time run.
There's Hardesty.
Yeah. Just lowering his head, but keeping the feet churning up top.
Yeah, you can see right here. Guard kick out, and he takes it up. He's a load to bring down.
And he's swatting defenders away who tried to rip it out of his belly that time.
Yeah, 6'2", 230.
They grow 'em big in Mayville, don't they?
Yeah.
1st and 10 from the 30. Go back to him. Hardesty. Another strong run. Just shy of the first down by a foot.
Yeah, you see Hardesty comes through there. Good job up front by those guys. And Jamison Ahern, if he's getting to Ahern, that means those guys up front are doing the job, because that's the last line of defense.
Yeah, 33's just looking for the opening and then kind of sashaying his way through it. 2nd and a yard needed for the first down. Quarterback keeper, Radaman. Just wanted to move the chains,
Yep.
gets the job done. 1st and 10, Cards at the 18.
Yeah. They've had a dose of Hardesty, and you can see here he fakes the Hardesty and keeps it. Gets just enough to move the chains.
Boy, poor gear tag, look at that. Big chunk of sod.
Yeah.
That's what teammates are for. Clean you up. 1st and 10, Cards on the move. On the give, it's Borchard. And Borchard running hard as well.
Man.
Well, the Cards have found something somewhere against this very good Ledger's defense. We got a whistle and a marker that came down in the traffic.
You can see that. I mean, that's just hard running by Borchard, refusing to go down.
But tangled up.
Face mask.
Oh, boy.
Here we go.
So that'll be half the distance after the run. 1st and goal for Mayville coming up.
Yeah, we can see it as he comes through there. Right at the end of the play. You got a grab and turn there.
Hardesty. Inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal. Talked about opportunities against this very good defense. When you get them, and Mayville has one now, you have to cash in for points.
Yeah, absolutely. They cannot afford not to cash this in.
2nd and goal. Touchdown.
Oh, man.
Cardinals, Sawyer, Hardesty, in for 6.
Yeah, their center, Austin McCartney, nice job leading them in there. You can see on the replay, he's going off the right side, and he got great blocking up front.
Milsna for the extra point to make it 13-7. Oh, snap.
Yeah.
And kind of skids on the slippery surface. So 33 gets him in the end zone. They settle for 6. 7-point football game.
Yeah, you can see on the replay, good job of those guys up front, especially, again, their center, but mostly Hardesty doing the job on his own.
Well, it was all set up by the good kick return and then the big run by Hardesty on the first play. That got him going downhill, downfield, and they just kept churning their way into the end zone.
Yeah, and Hardesty's one of those backs. You know, we saw Kuhn exhibit the speed and the elusiveness. Hardesty's like a heat-seeking missile. He's just looking for guys to run into.
Ahern and Giertig waiting again for Springs. Milsna will boot it.
Milsna to kick off.
And marker comes in right at the 40. Somebody jumped the gun early for Mayville. That's going to be offsides on the kicking team. So now back to the 35, and Springs, they got to be licking their chops here. Going to get good field position once again. So now Milsna, he hasn't kicked deep yet. He's tried a couple like pooch and line drive kicks. Bespeckled kicker. Line drive again. Field at the 23-yard line. And Springs, good field position as Giertig runs up to get the offense back on the football field, up by 7.
Yeah, great field position again for Springs.
So now Kyle Krieger's offense trying to cobble another long drive down the field, expand their lead once again. They start off at the 41-yard line. Max Bauer keeps it, pulls it back, lowers his head, and tackle made by Schlender. Boy, Bauer though, once he gets past the original tacklers, you see him, he just kind of like waves people off. He's a tough dude to bring down.
He is an impressive runner. I mean, you can easily see why he's their leading rusher.
Dan mentioned earlier he played with a broken foot last year, so had to be the backup and healthy this season. Bauer to throw, deep ball. And it's incomplete, broken up by Radaman. Great coverage, stride for stride with Fisher.
Yeah, fantastic coverage. You can see this. What a great throw, though, by Bauer. He puts it right on the money. Just better defensive coverage by Radaman. You mentioned before his dad, Jeff, he played for me at Hartford, was an outstanding running back in the 90s.
Yeah, he's part of the staff here at Mayville. Set up the youth program to keep the pipeline churning.
Yeah.
3rd and 4 for the Ledgers. Couple of fakes. Look out. Bauer picks it. It's intercepted. It's going to be a pick 6.
Hardesty.
Touchdown Cardinals.
Whoa.
For the pick 6.
And just like that, Mayville, a PAT away from tying it up. Hardesty gets in the end zone again, this time on defense, Dan.
Yeah, you see the little cross fake action. He's going to dump it off for a screen. Hardesty read it all the way.
He was waiting in the weeds. He knew with the pressure coming that there was a chance they'd try for the dump off, and 33 was there. Now Milsna to tie it. And squeaks it in. We're tied at 13 in Mayville on senior night. And Hardesty, who's a junior, says, how about some junior achievement? on senior night.
You see right here, he barely had time to see him. Man, what a gift.
Just like that. Even Steven at 13 apiece. 33, getting it done on both sides of the football for the Cards. Ahern and Giertig again. Milsna again. We just did this.
Yeah.
Was the kick. Ahern and Grittig to return.
Again, line drive. This one has some juice. Look out. They crash into each other. Giertig has it. And Giertig manhandled and then thrown down finally at the 27-yard line. Cards got some life now.
Yeah, they do. There's some juice going there.
Yep.
And a bunch of his friends.
They turned this football game around in a blink.
They did. And that's by far the best kickoff coverage they've had. They don't have that great field position to start for St. Mary's now.
Bob Hyland there.
Yeah.
No headset for him, old school. Little
Oh,
jet
boy.
sweep action. Sam Lucas on the loose. Lucas past midfield, slammed down at the 46. And Springs, ooh, give a marker down back at the line of scrimmage. Mike Stone, and you can tell the expression on Springs. They think this one's coming back, and it will. And a hold wipes out a terrific run by Lucas. They'll try it again on first down. But that's exactly what Springs needed. After getting the pick six slammed in their face, they wanted to march it right back down the field.
Yeah, and they had a great start other than the hold.
So 1st and 20 now for the Ledgers. Bauer. Where's he going? He's calling his own number. A lot of traffic, a lot of Cardinals.
Power on the carry. Elvis and Lucas
No
and
gain,
friends.
maybe a yard, but Cards defense.
Yeah, he called his own number here, and they're all over it. And again, you're going to see Ligas in on everything.
Logan Miller slowed him down, then
Yeah.
Ligas finished him off. No gain, ball back at the 17-yard line. 2nd and 20, 6 minutes to go before halftime. Bauer shotgun. Looking to throw. Tons of time. Makes the throw. Highland on the
Highland,
catch. And Brody still churning. Boy, big pickup there
Man.
for Springs as
Big
Highland
Yeah.
makes this 3rd down and 3.
Boy, what a nice delivery by Bauer here. You see him in the pocket a lot of time. Not his first choice, but he finds him wide open.
3rd down for the Ledgers.
And a great extra effort by Highland.
Yeah, he got 5 extra yards. After slipping, he said, I need to get our team closer. He did. 3rd and a couple. Bauer. Quarterback keeper. Should have enough, and he does. 38-yard line, 1st and 10 Springs. Brody Highland's brother, by the way, also one of Bob's grandsons, played at Springs, is playing at North Dakota State,
Yes.
which is where his father Rob
played.
played, which is Bob's son, which is where
Grandpa
Bob played
Grandpa played.
back
Yep.
in the day.
Yeah.
He had some great stories about when he went to North Dakota State. 1st and 10 at the 38. On the give, low inside to Kuhn, and Kuhn.
Kuhn on the carry.
Nice carry there for a gain of about 3, maybe 4, past the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Mayville stretched this out pretty good, but you can just see Kuhn, very patient runner, find a little opening, get whatever he can, and he picked up 3.
2nd and 7 from the 41. Clock running. 4 minutes and change before halftime. On the give, Koenigs got a yard or 2.
Yeah.
On the tackle.
Ligas again in on the tackle. This is a recording. It'll be 3rd and 6. Mayville looking for a big stop here. Remember, they get the football to start the second half. So if they can keep this one tied up, that'll be a happy locker room at halftime. Bauer in the pocket. Fires sideline, incomplete.
Oh, boy.
In and out of the hands of Ahern. Tried to make the catch and then turn and get more. He had plenty to get the first down. Instead, it's now 4th down.
You can see Bauer, he puts it right on him. It's just a classic case of trying to run before you put it away. He is their best receiver on the season.
And Ledger's got to boot the football. Bauer is also the punter. You've seen him as the quarterback, so just tuck that away in case. Gonna boot it here, but not a good one. It'll bounce and die at the 35-yard line. So, Mayville, they've tied this football game now. They've got 3 minutes and a few ticks to try to take the lead into the halftime locker room.
Yeah, and there's enough time where you don't have to be pass happy as long as you can move the chains a couple times.
Both teams have all 3 timeouts here in the first half. Scott Hilber in his 4th year as the head coach. His dad, Alex, Hall of Fame coach back in the day.
Legend.
1st and 10 cards at the 35. Big burst again by Borchert. Again, that wing tee, you get all that misdirection. And Radaman's doing a real good job of just selling all these fakes, Dan.
Yeah, and again, he's the key. Cohen Radaman is just the perfect guy for this offense. He distributes the ball, and they got 2 complimentary backs, Borchert and Hardesty, who do a great job.
2nd and 5 from the 40. Borchert again. Gets to the 45 where he needed to move the chains, and they do. And you're right, Dan. They are practicing patience. Don't have to throw it here.
No, you see a nice job there. You know, those pulling guards and even left tackle Bennett Schellinger pulled on that play.
From the 45. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. 1st and 10 cards. Hardesty, not this time. He's wrapped up. They'll give him a yard, but stingy defense that time by Cannon Cluck.
Cannon Cluck, the first one in on that tackle.
Clock runs here. 2nd and 9.
You know, now you're getting in that position where you're going to have to put the ball in the air to chew up some chunks of yardage.
They go airborne. Little sideline toss. Catch and cut back. 1st down and then some. Schlender.
Yeah.
Whistles, however. What do we got? Oh, one of the helmets flew off one of the cards. So no penalty. First down, Mayville.
Nice job. Rodman gets the ball out. Nice little move by Schlender to get out in the open field. He's a late bloomer for them, and he's actually turned himself into an all-conference caliber receiver and free safety.
Timeout called by the Cardinals. They're first. Scott Hilber now got something to work with here. On the move here at the 38-yard line. Scott's also the athletic director here at Mayville. He rolled out the Cardinal carpet for our Thursday night Throwdown crew. He didn't make the cookie dough. That was one of the moms below in the concession stand. But
yeah.
Coming up in halftime, we'll have the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin halftime report. John Pearson talks with Travis Wilson from WSN. They discuss Thursday night Throwdown as well as all things Wisconsin high school football playoff stand. The picture's starting to come into focus here because it's week 8, and there are some teams who know they are already in, but there are others who will be fighting tomorrow night and then next week for their playoff lives.
Absolutely.
1st and 10 Mayville out of the timeout. Drop back looking to throw. Radaman will just flip it on the pitch, and look at this.
Wow.
Little ad-lib play, but it works for a first down.
A la Brett Favre.
Borchert on the other end helping his QB out.
Boy, it certainly was. He's a check down safety guy. He had no way to throw it to him, so he just flicked it out there.
Favre, Rogers, they all did it, right?
Yep.
Clock rolling again under a minute. Little quick toss. Schlender. And he's hit by Geertag.
Yeah.
Slowed down. Timeout again called by Mayville. They were hoping that play could bust for a lot more than it did.
Yeah, Geertag, you can see why he's their leading tackler.
Yeah, came in with 62 tackles, did Brendan, from the outside linebacker position. He flies the football. Did it there. So now, 1 timeout remaining for Mayville. They've got 2nd and 6 from the 29-yard line. Looking for points of any nature here before halftime to take the lead in the locker room.
Yeah, and typically in his wing T sets, some kind of a fake crossbuck boot action gets you one of your receivers deep and then another one coming across. It's probably, certainly in their offense.
Again, 1 timeout remaining for Mayville. Radaman going shotgun here on 2nd and 6. On the give, Borchard. He's met by a whole host of ledgers. Clock rolls, not going to burn that final timeout. They're going to set up quick here on 3rd and 4. Spike it. And that brings up 4th down.
A little surprising.
Yeah. I wonder if Radaman lost track of the downs or if that was by design. But now you got to make a decision here, and I don't see the field goal unit coming on. It's Scott Hilber talking to Radaman here. Going to try to convert here on 4th down. They need the 18-yard line to do that. Eschewing the field goal try. Big college word there.
Yeah.
Radaman rolling. Got to throw across his body. It's tipped and almost intercepted. It's broken up, and Springs gets the job done. They get the football, turning it over on downs.
Yeah, just a sprint out pass to the left. Tough to do for a right-handed quarterback. Looking for Jorn Schlender.
Giertig actually came up with the football, but he was out of
Out of
bounds, as
bounds,
you can
yep.
see. But either way, there was a lot of white and blue downfield, and they weren't having it. So the defense holds for Springs. Keep this game tied. And I would imagine just a kneel down here so that it remains tied at halftime. And Max Bauer says, I agree with you, Mr. Brainerd. Springs 13, Mayville 13. Good half of Flyway Conference football is in the books, and another half to go. And our halftime features Travis Wilson, John Pearson. They're going to talk all prep pigskin at the break. 13-0, you're watching the Thursday Night Throwdown on WSN.
Farming is more than just a job because it demands so much of you. Every day I'm with the people that I care about the most. We accomplish or we fail together.
Support Wisconsin dairy farmers. Buy Wisconsin cheese and dairy.
It is hard to believe we are winding down to the end of the season here, and Travis Wilson never winds down. He's got more to think about as we get to this time of year, the general manager of WSN, and we are headed to playoff time. Is it coming into shape more, or are there more kind of stories that have to take place before we have it all figured out?
Well, certainly coming into picture a little bit more after week 7, heading into week 8. I think last week we talked about the football playoff qualifying report that we do, looking at who is in, who's on the bubble, who has work to do still. And after week 7, heading into this week, 127 teams have clinched playoff spots. Another 63 are on the bubble. That means that they've got 3 conference wins. One more can clinch a playoff spot for them. And then another 63 teams that are 1 win away from putting themselves onto the bubble. So we're getting a little more clarity. We'll get significant clarity after this week, but there is a lot of variables that come into play, because really, when you start talking about tiebreakers, when you start talking about the pieces that go into the tiebreaker formula, combined conference winning percentage of defeated conference opponents, your record versus conference champion, all kinds of variables that go into play. Almost every game in the state has playoff or could have playoff implications, regardless of the record of those teams, because of the tiebreakers. So certainly a lot of intrigue these last couple weeks.
Do you notice that the coaches know exactly how it works, or do you have to kind of walk people through it? Because like we'll talk about NFL playoffs. Well, there's only a couple of teams, like 4 or 5 teams for the last 2 spots, or the college football, it's 4 spots are available, and usually 7 or 8 teams have a chance at it. Can it get too complicated? Do the coaches try and figure it out for you, or do you have they kind of figured it out as time's gone on here?
This is the time of year I get a lot of questions, from coaches included, about are we in? Are we close? What happens if? They have a good understanding of how it works, but all the nuances and the details and how things impact, they're trying to focus on winning football games, not playoff criteria that goes down to 20 different places. So some of them do get pretty involved, though. Some of them are already looking at, okay, who could I be playing? And they'll map out who they think will get in, who the teams in their area might be that would be in their division. And they're thinking, okay, I've got to start scouting these couple of teams. So it does vary a little bit. And there's also a lot of new coaches that this is the first year that they've gone through it. They're just kind of trying to stay above water. And so that is one of the reasons that we do our playoff qualifying report on WisSports, why we do our projected football qualifying field after week 7 and after week 8, to give a little bit more clarity. They're not going to be perfect, because with roughly 380 games on the schedule, something like that, 360 games on the schedule the rest of the way, there's a lot of variables that come into play. if I picked one of those games wrong when I do my projections, it could change things. So it is an inexact science, but we try to make it as easy as possible for people. Again, the the projected field that we put together also then starts to give a little bit of an idea on where things will land from a divisional cut line perspective. That's always a big topic of conversation for those schools that might be close to D1 or going to Division II. They want to know, have a better idea, and that that projected playoff field and cut lines that we do certainly can help with that.
There's a lot of formulas that go into that, and a lot early in the season we had some powerhouse programs that got a couple losses or even more than a couple. How have those schools recovered? I know it's different stories for different schools, but I think there are even some big time programs just because they lost a couple. Some people forgot all about just how good those programs are. How have those traditional top of the charts type of schools recovered so far?
Well, there's 3 in Division I that certainly come into mind. Bayport went 0-2 in the non-conference, kind of dropped off a little bit. We're not in the coaches poll until this week, but they've won 5 in a row, and I think they will be a factor in the playoffs. It looks like it will come down to them in West Appear in Week 9 for the FRCC North Conference Championship. Arrowhead is another team that started hot. They looked good in the non-conference, but they are actually 2-3 in Classic 8 play. And, they're kind of headed towards a 4th place finish, quite possibly, or quite likely in the Classic 8. They'll make the playoffs. I'm pretty certain on that. But, again, not the kind of year that we thought they might have. They have not been able to beat one of those other top teams in the Classic 8. In Fond du Lac, we talked about a few different times. They started 0-4, but they've rattled off 3 straight wins. They look like they have a good chance to get into the postseason. If they get a couple good wins the next couple weeks, their strength of schedule will be pretty strong. I don't think it'll get them a home game, but certainly would improve their standing and clinch a playoff spot for the Cardinals. So there are some teams that again started slow, picking it up a little bit, but a team like Arrowhead, they're kind of scuffling, and they've got to get some wins going here towards the end.
And sometimes it's fun to see those new names that pop up, the ones that maybe, the programs have been around a long time, but it hasn't been a lot of success over the last few years. Has anybody surprised you from all the way to the big schools, all the way down?
There's some teams that have certainly taken steps forward. I think of a team like Winnebago Lutheran. They have a huge Week 9 showdown with St. Mary Springs, where quite possibly both those teams will be undefeated on the season, both of them ranked in the top 2 or 3 in their division. It'll be interesting to see if WLA can unseat Springs as that dominant team in the Flyway Conference. Even the top-ranked team in Division III right now, Port Washington, I got a chance to see them last week in our Quick Trip in Wisconsin Dairy game of the week. They were very impressive in beating Plymouth 35-7. That's a team that has had some past success, hadn't really been, towards the top of the standings recently. They had a very good year last year, but Ben Fritsch is an outstanding dual-threat quarterback for them. Also plays on defense, just a dynamic player, and very impressed with them. So that's a team that's definitely taken a step forward. Again, the top-ranked team in Division III right now. And I do have to mention before I forget, very impressive showing by Lodi last week. That's a name that we've seen, a number of times. A very good program. They knocked off Columbus, the defending Division IV state champion, our current D5 top-ranked team. Lodi dominated that one 28-0. So really impressive showing by Lodi, a statement win by them to see if maybe Lodi can be that team that can challenge Catholic Memorial in Division IV this year.
Yeah, that is where the excitement sometimes comes in, because it's like if you could knock off a school that you're expecting to be there, and it's really exciting during the regular season, and then a lot of times the comeuppance comes around like, oh, they remembered just who they are there. How often, I guess I can't give you put a percentage on it, but it does seem to happen if you pull off that upset during the season of a team, one of the traditional powers. It does come back around there. How often do you think that happens, I guess, as you seem to be in tune with everything?
Well, it takes a little bit for teams to really rise to the top. It's not an overnight thing by any means. So, even beating that perennial power in your league or on your schedule doesn't guarantee that you're going to go on and make it to state or win a state title. And there are often times where teams play a second time in the playoffs because of how regional groupings are assigned. It's pretty common. We've seen it in Level 1. We've seen it in Level 4, where teams have played during the regular season and then match up in the playoffs. And the old adage is it's hard to beat a team twice. And we certainly do see that hold up quite often, where a team gets a win in the regular season, but then the other team gets a win in the postseason. I don't know the exact percentages. It'd be interesting to see, but we do see those matchups come back around sometimes.
Of course, we always want to make sure we salute the people that make all these games possible, the sponsors there. And one of the exciting parts is the different features that you have with those sponsors that you've come up with that they can take advantage of. Just talk a little about the importance of that and just the response. I know for sure that Jolly Good, I had some friends of mine this week said, oh, I saw that Jolly Good interview you did at the game, and they went and tried it out there. So it's always that positive thing. But when these sponsors can see just the value of being a part of this community-based programming and things like that, talk about the response and just kind of how some of those weekly and year-long sponsorships are going.
Well, as we've talked about before, the demand, the interest, the passion around high school sports remains very strong, and we are able to connect those advertisers that want to get in touch with and engage with the passionate high school sports audience. We're able to do that on WisSports.net year-round. During the preseason, during the season, and during the playoffs, we're able to make those connections, and it's always a fun part of what we get to do. Just recently, last week, in fact, we launched the first Wisconsin Dairy Athlete of the Month profiles that we will do this year. This year we've expanded that. We're going to do a boys and a girls athlete each month. Callie Reich from Abbotsford was our featured girls athlete, and then Dustin Nolan from Prairie du Chien was our boys athlete of the month. And of course, Wisconsin Dairy and the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin, great partners on the Thursday night Throwdown broadcast. So just another way that we can help engage and connect brands and businesses around the state and organizations with that large and passionate, but very disparate and disconnected high school sports audience.
All right, finally, fairly quickly, just a couple of the big matchups that you see that are going to jump out at us this weekend.
Well, there's some conference showdowns on the line for sure. In the Lakeland Conference, we have Hurley and Grantsburg squaring off. A huge one in the Packerland Conference is undefeated Southern Door takes on undefeated Kewanee. You've also got Mosinee and Medford in the Great Northern Conference. That's for the outright lead heading into the final week. Winnicott Xavier, and then Wisconsin Dells and Adams Friendship. Those are some of the big games this weekend that have conference title implications. There's a whole bunch that have playoff implications around the state.
All right, we know you'll be all over it. Travis Wilson, thanks for joining us, and can't wait to see what you have Friday night and all day Saturday as you get to start exploring just where everything's headed. Thanks, Travis.
Sounds good. Thanks, John.
I think when anybody comes onto our farm, they see how family-oriented we are. Having the 3 generations all at one dinner table, it's just a really fun time to spend as a family. I would love to see them someday taking over the farm as well. You know, that's a farmer's ultimate dream, to see it pass on to the hands of the next generation.
Support Wisconsin dairy farmers. Buy Wisconsin cheese and dairy.
All right, let's go, baby. Mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter. Nobody ever drowned in sweat. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, I'm pleasantly impressed by that.
Halftime winding down here at Mayville High School, and our score is Mayville 13, Springs Academy 13. Bob Brainerd, Dan Brunner, the birthday boy, John Pearson on the sidelines, and our terrific crew here on Thursday night Throwdown. Really good first half of football. We told you that Mayville, they have won the last 3 meetings against Springs, but here comes Springs out of the chute on the opening drive. They got stuffed on a 4th down try, but then the second time, Max Bauer went into the end zone for the touchdown, made it pay. 7-0 was the lead after 1. Then they tack on a Coon run right here, Dan. This was really impressive, 49 yards.
Absolutely, traversed the whole field. He sees the opening here, and he knows there's nobody on that field that can catch him.
PAT was no good, but it was 13-0 in the second quarter, Springs, but then Mayville starts to get it going. this kickoff return really got them going, got the offense ignited as Chase Merritt set him up in good field position. And then Hardesty went to work on the ground, 3-yard touchdown run. PAT no good, but it's 13-6. And then speaking of 6, a pick 6,
yeah,
Dan.
Pick 6. Boy, that first touchdown by Hardesty kind of ignited them, but if it didn't, this pick 6 certainly did. That became a whole different Mayville team after that.
So the pendulum swings for Scott Hilber and his Cardinals. They give up 13, but then they get 13, and they get the football to start the second half of this football game. Springs getting loose here as well. Bob Highland, we don't have enough time in the broadcast to run through the resume, but the numbers you need to know. 53rd season as the head coach here. 510 wins and counting. Only 115 losses, 2 ties in there back when we used to have ties, Dan.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he is number 1 in the state, and I took a peek just to make sure. I mean,
Didn't scream or yell, but I am quoting his inner monologue on the pick 6. Go, 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 yes, yes, go, yes, yes, go, touchdown. And then he went back to being a professional. So, there's all the little stories we have there, but Carson Hardesty staying a pro even though he's not getting paid for this.
thanks, John. Yeah, proud papa. The papa comes out, and then you go back to business. So getting set as the pregame showers return for a moment in the first quarter. They have held off here at halftime and into the second quarter. Todd Clark from the WIAA office stopped in at halftime here, presented the Sportsmanship Award to the Mayville softball team for their participation last year at the tournament in Madison. And again, the Cardinals won the toss, deferred, which means they get the football here in the second half. Trying to break the stalemate with Springs. Cards played in the state championship a year ago. Lacrosse Aquinas topped them for the gold trophy. A lot of those key components have moved on, graduated for Mayville.
Yeah.
But Scott Hilber was pleased that his guys, they can't use the excuse of we're the newbies anymore. It's week 8 and He said they've been learning and improving, getting better, and not leaning on the past, trying to carve out the present and the future here at Mayville.
Yeah, and that's been the way it's been at Mayville. They've got such great football tradition.
Teeing it up once again for Springs is John Kuhn. He handles the kickoff chores. Chase Merritt, who had a good return for Mayville in the second quarter, one of the deep men. He's number 13. Instead, it's fielded here by Baker. Landon Baker draws a lot of attention and corralled before he can get ahead of steam at the 24-yard line.
Hit by Braden Freund and his friends.
So Radaman in at quarterback. Borchard has been a load in the backfield, along with Hardesty, of course.
Yeah, it helps when you got a heady guy like Radaman in that backfield. There's no panic. He gets everybody lined up correctly.
1st and 10 from the 25. Again, changing the play. Everyone going to the wristband to get on the same page. Toss it, and what a tackle. Immediately brought down in the backfield. 35, Weston Humpner.
Weston Humpner on the tackle.
Blowing up the play. He's the nose tackle in this defense, Dan. A force in the middle. He's just 5'7", 180. But Bob Highland said he's one of our strongest players. You saw it right there.
Absolutely, and he just shot the gap where the guard left.
Sometimes it's not the size on the roster, it's the ticker.
Yeah.
Loss of 3 back to the 22-yard line. So second, 13 or 14, and hold the phone. Scott Hilbert doesn't like how things are going here. Has to burn an early timeout.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do that, just to set the tone here. You don't want to get that ball, a 3 and out here and give the Ledgers the ball in great field position to start the second half.
Yeah, so rather than the confusion and compounding it, Scott Hilbert says we need to talk about it. His 4th season here at Mayville. See if the timeout paid off here. 2nd and 14. Radaman still has it. Chased on the backside. He throws. Sideline toss. And that spring sideline helping the official.
Yeah.
Incomplete. It was intended for Schlender, but maybe Thorson, I beg your pardon. Had a couple of Cardinals over there he was trying to connect with. So now you're up against it. 3rd and 14. Springs defense trying to dig in here. Little draw. And Hardesty
Hardesty on the carry brings up a 4th down.
got a little steam, but Springs says we'll give you some, but not all of it. 4th down, forced to punt. And on comes Sawyer to boot the football. He'll be deep to field it. Ahern and Giertig.
Sawyer Hardesty punt.
Hardesty, quick kick to the night sky, fielded at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, great field position.
Ahern
Jamison Ahern
brings the offense out And Springs trying to regain the lead. They had it at 13 love early in the second quarter. Mayville scored the next 13. Max Bauer's the quarterback. JT Koenig's in the backfield. Split to the left. Look out.
Oh, boy.
John Kuhn. Touchdown.
Kuhn on the touchdown.
Whistles and a marker down at the 45. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Springs has seen this movie before.
Oh, man. I think it's the third one. Boy, that John Kuhn has some impressive speed.
Another hold, wipes out another potential touchdown. Bauer had a touchdown run that was taken away on a hold. I'm highly not happy, and why would he be? So bring it back to the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 there. No, 1st and 8, rather. Anyway, Bauer gets tripped up just past midfield. 36 in the trip up is
Caston
Zimmer.
Yeah. Caston Zimmer saved a huge run on that.
Yeah, because Bauer had some room to run there, too. He had a lane.
And ahead of steam.
So now 2nd down and 1. From the 48. Bauer gonna little sideline toss there to Lucas. Sam Lucas. Catch, head up field, 1st down, Springs at the 40.
Taken down by Rodman, Zimmer, and Hardesty.
Yeah, Bauer's an impressive quarterback. I mean, he's got a nice touch on his pass. We see he's a great runner.
Springs on the move after they thought they had a quick touchdown. But back at it here, 1st and 10 from the 39. Try it again with Kuhn. And this time the Cardinals wrap him up before he can get to the edge.
Tackled by Schlender.
Kuhn getting beat up, slow to get up. Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. Bauer, toss, going up to get it is Van Horn.
Whoa, man.
Or Kuhn, rather, and then Kuhn gets leveled.
Braden Weiglein.
Catch by John Kuhn.
Kuhn paying the price this time. Look at that neck thing that 66 has. That's
Yeah.
that's old school.
That's old school.
Timeout.
That's the late Bears
Yeah.
player Dick Buckus, who passed away. That's why I saw that. It reminded me, Buckus.
Yeah, Nitschke, those guys
Yeah.
all wore those things.
Buckus was 80 years old, passed away earlier today. Bears legend. So Scott Hilbert, interested observer here, trying to get his defense to dig in here on 3rd and 5. Mike Stoner, referee, winds it. To the line, the Ledgers. Bauer in the shotgun. Lucas. Upfield he goes, and Lucas running over Cardinals and trying to run into the end zone. He's tripped up. It'll be 1st and goal, Ledgers. What a run by number 1.
Absolutely. Relentless effort.
Just refusing.
No, just won't go down. The guard's out there pulling ahead of him. Guy's getting a block, but this is all on him. Lucas, extra effort.
running people over, stiff arming. Springs knocking on the door. Bauer trying to run it in. Oh, from the backside. Legas again. He just jumped on him like when the older brother beats up the little brother.
Yeah.
It'll be 2nd and goal from the 3.
Well, they had one goal line stand in them earlier. We'll see if they have another one.
Yeah, it was on the opening drive. Went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. And they've got 3 downs here if they choose to try to take the lead. From the 3, Bauer. And it's a touchdown, Kuhn. Well, he had the long touchdown run called back. This time, no flags, short run, but still gets 6.
Yeah, Kuhn, he just can't handle that speed on the field. I mean, all he needs is a little bit of an edge, and he's going to find an opening.
Make it 19-13, PAT coming from the freshman. Coots. Got it through. I think it's the only time I've seen a kicker wear 61, but hey, freshman getting it done, 20-13, Kuhn getting it done. His 2nd touchdown run of the evening, Dan.
Yeah, he's been impressive. Mayville needs to answer.
Dan said earlier, 22 is the fastest player on this team, so when he gets some space and some blocking, then those feet do the rest. And Bob Hyland over there coaching up that offensive line as well.
Yeah.
He talked about that earlier in the week. He said
Yeah.
it's a unit, the line is, it's getting better each week. He's been working with them on getting the line downfield to block the linebackers. He wants them to try to get past the first line of defense, get to the linebackers. Because if you get to the linebackers, you can see what Kuhn and Max Bauer can do.
You take care of that second level.
Yeah.
I mean, you're opening up everything for your offense.
On the boot. Fielded there by Merritt. Not this time.
On the return.
Weber with the takedown. That's Pierce Weber, a junior. Good tackle there. 25-yard line. Cardinals now have to answer again. They answered in the first half, scoring 13 unanswered after falling behind by that number. Rodman under center here on 1st and 10. Inside handoff on the draw. Once again, Hardesty.
Hardesty on the carry.
Gain of about 4, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, kind of your typical MO. You want to gain 4 or 5 yards on 1st down. Same on 2nd, same on 3rd, move the chains. And then every once in a while, you try to go over the top.
Every time I see these Mayville uniforms, I think about the St. Louis Cardinals fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Larry Wilson and Jim Hart.
Yeah.
Conrad Dobler.
Yeah. The dirtiest man in football, Conrad Dobler. Dirtiest player. There's Borchard doing his thing.
Yeah, Borchard. Oh, running hard as well. Boy, we've seen some fantastic carries by the backs on both sides of the football tonight.
Yeah, this is all just individual effort. You can see that. Just dragging guys for 5 yards.
We've seen Kuhn do that. We've seen Bauer do that.
Yep. Hardesty,
Borchard. I mean, the defenses are getting banged and bruised trying to bring these bodies down tonight. 1st and 10 on the carry to the 46-yard line. Toss it, Hardesty navigating back to midfield.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like much, but when it's all said and done, it's 4 or 5 yards. Little toss sweep. He knows where to cut it up, when to cut it up, and he finishes his runs.
It's like John Madden football, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's just,
it is,
down
yeah.
and dirty. I mean, guys are making tackles. Everybody's running hard. Borchard. Running into a wall that time is Borchard.
Yeah, Giertig is I mean, he's not big, 5'10", 155, but he's just always sticking his nose in there. You're going to see number 24. He's in on like every play.
Mm-hmm. Caden Pitts gets in there first, slows him down, knows he's got help on the backside.
Yeah, and those guys up front, Luke Schwartz, Weston Humpher, and as you mentioned, Caden Pitts, they're doing all the dirty work.
3rd and 6 for Mayville, right at midfield. Toss, right at the sticks. See where they
Thorson,
spot it.
Going to be short. Oh, incomplete.
I said incomplete.
Oh.
Ball came out. So now it's 4th down. I'm with you. I thought he corralled it and was going to be a yard shy. But instead, you're calling on Hardesty to punt the football, I would imagine. He will.
Yeah, and if anything, they're trying to flip the field here. Get themselves a chance to hold Springs and then get some decent field position.
Fielded at the 12. Backpedaling. Acceleration Ahern. Special teams has been really good tonight. But there's a marker down. You can see right where Ahern was blasted out of bounds. And you can see Bob Hyland, he knows the penalty's going against him. Here's Mike Stone again with the call. Another hold.
Oh, 2 penalties. Blocking the back and a hold. So blocking the back gives him a better penalty. Yeah, we see the block in the back right there.
And you can see the coaching staff, they knew that their guys didn't execute properly. So, precious yards, we shall see. Springs leads it by 7. 1st and 10 from the 27. Bauer keeps it, and down he goes.
Weiglein and Ligas. Wow.
Yep. Ligas is just so quick to get into the backfield.
He is.
If he's not disrupting things, he's doing this
I
now.
mean, look at this. I mean, just shoot through there, both those guys.
So the penalty marched him backwards. Now a sack. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12 from the 25. Bauer. Little screen toss to Lucas. Sam Lucas. Yeah, that's been all night long.
Yes.
Sam Lucas, yards after the catch. Tough guy to bring down. 6'1", $175. And he's really shown a great ability to pick up extra real estate after the catch.
Yeah, and their tackles are doing a nice job on those quick hitch screens. They're getting out there and putting a body on a defensive back or an outside linebacker.
Better shot here to pick up the 1st down. 3rd and 1.
Oh, man.
Didn't get it.
Whoa.
Ebels. Elbis, I beg your pardon, Parker. You did the job to blow the play up and force 4th down.
Oh, man. Parker Elbis right there.
Coming in for that inside linebacker spot. He snuffed it out. And now Bauer Again, he's your quarterback. Back in punt formation here. 4th and 4. Merritt is deep. He'll back off and let it bounce, roll, and die at the 34. So Mayville holds serve to get the football back, trailing by 7. Late stages here of quarter number 3. An important contest, we told you, for various reasons. Springs wants to keep things rolling here, stay unbeaten before a potential unbeaten Week 9 matchup with Winnebago Lutheran. Mayville, they're trying to get an important W here to improve their playoff positioning. Not going to get it done here. Tackle made in the backfield for a loss. Noah Mole gets in there to blow it up.
Yeah, his reputation is a run stopper, and you can certainly see it here. He enters where one of the guards vacated and drops him for a 3-yard loss.
Noah was an all-conference defensive lineman last year, Dan. They had a need at linebacker, so they shifted him there. And he has thrived. 2nd down and 13.
Yeah, screen out here.
Little screen here. Borchert. Oh, my goodness. Ran into Mole.
Wow.
Putting on the hits here, gentlemen.
Yeah, big-time collision there. 6-yard gain makes it a 3rd and manageable 7.
Under a minute to go in the 3rd. Important 3rd down call here for the Cards. Rodman, little comebacker and slippage. Schlender, I don't know if he gets the 1st down, but we'll never know. The feet get,
yeah,
it just kind of came out from underneath him on the, again, it rained pregame here.
We saw Schlender in a similar play earlier where he made the first guy miss, and it was kind of the same setup there, but like you said, Bob, you know, the feet came out from under him with the slick field.
Hardesty to boot it. Ahern and Giertig deep. End over end roller, fielded, and slippage there.
Yeah, here we go, you're right.
Ahern, end of the play right there, but Springs. Football again here as that ends the 3rd quarter of play. Who decides things in the 4th period? Stick around and find out. Thursday night throwdown on WSN has Springs up 20-13 after 3.
I love living in Kewanee, Wisconsin because the skies are blue. Smell of the fresh green grass. It's just a beautiful place to live. I love it. You love your animals, you love what you're doing, you love everything about farming, and you want to carry on those traditions. That's why we dairy farm.
Fourth quarter begins here in Mayville by checking in with John Pearson.
Now this one has been awfully physical, and it looked like the offenses were challenged in the early part of that half, and the running of Kuhn and Lucas, and then Hardesty and Borchard on the other side were there, but then suddenly it was the defense challenging themselves. No arm tackles, in part because of great form, but also in part because these guys want to run into each other on offense and defense.
A little taste of what it's like down on the sidelines there. Not easy to out-talk John Pearson.
No.
But everyone active on the sidelines here at Mayville. Little toss there to Kuhn to get the fourth quarter going with Springs up by 7. 2nd and 3 at the 30. Bauer goes right to Lucas. And Lucas again, just when it looks like you got him wrapped up, number 1 says not just yet. Gets him closer here. 3rd and 2 awaits.
Yeah, critical that Mayville gets a stop somewhere on this drive because Springs does have the ability to chew up some clock by moving the chains off them.
We saw that on the opening drive.
Yeah.
They chewed up over 6 minutes. Kuhn trying to get the first down himself.
Got it.
And he got it. 34-yard line, 1st and 10, Ledgers.
That is a Ledger first down.
Yeah. He's an impressive runner. I mean, you know, he lowers his shoulders, and he, as well as all the backs we've seen tonight, they all know how to finish a run.
See, the patterns there on the helmets. They play in a game, and you get the skull and crossbones. And
yeah,
Max Bauer has created the number 4, which is his jersey number.
Yeah. Oh, they're out of turf. Oh.
Mayville says they have the football. The officials agree.
Oh, my goodness. I didn't think he did at first. Austin Pastorius, did he get on it?
Take another look.
Oh, yeah.
Never got the exchange.
Yep, didn't know he was getting it.
And then Bauer was there, but yeah, it squirts out on the backside. So
You
Bauer.
see Pastorius got in on it late.
That's what you do. Just get in on the scrum. Yeah, he's got the
Got the
football.
ball.
He's actually wrestling his teammate for it.
Exactly.
He and Hardesty both had it. Turnover. Cardinals football down by 7. Hardesty, straight ahead run.
Whoa.
This is Dan Brunner football. The coach is enjoying it.
Oh, I like that. Man. Right up the gut. Get a hat on a hat, and that guy is hard to bring down. Took 4 guys to bring him down.
First and 10 at the 15. Mayville down by 7, but in the red zone. Threatening. Borchard. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, John Kuhn.
Yep.
Not only a running back, he's also a pretty good linebacker.
Worth repeating, coming into the game, Springs only gave up 24 total points in the first 7 weeks of the season. So Mayville got just over half of that total. And touchdown here could get him to 20 and make it a ball game again. Hardesty, no. So they try the left side, nothing there. Maybe a yard.
Yeah, Ben Anderson, I mean, if you're going to bring down Hardesty, you got to go low.
And the challenge now for Mayville, 3rd and 9 at the 14. Field goal doesn't do you a whole lot of good here, Dan.
No. This is 2-down territory.
I would think so. Rodman under center. Keeps it. Cuts back. And squeezes his way down to about the 7-yard line. So now, 4th and a long 2 for Mayville.
Boy, it looked for a minute here, Bob, that he had an open path, but he just got disrupted by Riley Brunner, and then, of course, Giertig was in on it.
They need about 2.5. 5-yard line will move the chains and make it 1st and goal. It's a first down.
You got it.
Yep. Hardesty. Rodman tucked it into his breadbasket, and 33 did the rest.
Look at this pad level, low pad level. Guys out in front doing a nice job, but it's all Hardesty at the end of that run. Bennett Schellinger, nice job off that left side.
Cards in business. 1st and goal at the 3. Hardesty again, this time. Tripped up by Kuhn, who went low.
Got down to just outside the 1. Again, same play. Just a belly off the left side. Oh, almost got it in there.
Yeah, but the pushback, Dan.
Yeah.
I think that was Fisher. I didn't catch the number. But you saw one of the Springs players get in there at the last second. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Yeah, why do anything different?
Orchard stacked up.
Did not get it.
4 down territory again. You got to believe it's 3rd and goal now at the 2.
Boy, they just stayed low. Won the battle at the line of scrimmage.
Andrew Vandergrinten was 75. He got up high to wrestle him low. 3rd and goal. Cards. Hardesty. The lean.
He got in.
Touchdown. Mayville.
Whoa. Late signal.
A PAT away from knotting this football game up. The knee.
Ooh. No replay in high school.
No, not yet. Yeah, the knee was.
Guess what? We're going for the lead here.
Going for 2. Scott Hilber wants to roll the dice, and now timeout Springs.
Yeah.
Timeout Springs.
And Bob Hyland and his defensive coordinator, Zach Wilderman, they want to get everybody lined up here. Critical play coming with just over 6 to go in regulation. Do you like the call, Dan, coming up here to go for 2?
I do. I absolutely do. You know, I don't know. I mean, we saw the one PAT that just squeaked over. I mean, I think their chances might be better going for it rather than risking another kick. I mean, Springs, their defense is lights out on PATs. They got a great push up front. And I really don't see them running for this, but I do see them doing some kind of a play action boot, giving Rodman, a pass run option.
So Scott Hilber also wears the OC cap.
Yeah.
Play coming in the wing tee. You've got a lot of options, a
Yep.
lot of chances here. Little misdirection or just straight ahead football. For 2 in the lead. Trying to throw for it. No one open. But finds an opening.
Are you kidding me? Hardesty? Well, that's all Rodman, I'll tell you that. No panic. Knew he couldn't take a sack. Regardless of what you do, that ball's got to go into the end zone somewhere. And we see right here, he boots out. Oh, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. He's going to get sacked. Presence of mind to throw it into the end zone. Hardesty's there.
How did he find him?
I don't know.
You said with the defense bearing down on you, how does he find 33? But he did. Kid's been making plays both sides of the ball tonight and makes another huge one here to give Mayville the lead for the first time tonight.
But you know why he found him there, Bob? Because they've run that play over and over and over in practice, and you always have a check down guy that it's like when everything goes to heck, you throw the ball here because that's where your check down guy is, and that's exactly what they did.
And, of course, Hardesty just so heads up.
Man.
He's got a nose for the football. He knows where he needs to be.
Having a night.
Now Springs playing from behind for the first time tonight here in the fourth quarter. Milsna tees it up. Ball bouncing around, picked up at the 20-yard line.
Oh, boy.
Another big return.
Huge return.
Special teams has been special tonight for Springs.
Yeah.
So one of the up men came up, and then when he bobbled it, Ahern came in and cleaned up the mess.
Yeah. The best thing that could have happened was that Ahern got his hands on the ball.
Yeah, Noah Mole is not in the kick return plans.
No.
But Ahern certainly is.
Yeah, plenty of time now. There's no panic in that Fondy St. Mary's offense at all. Their playbook's wide open.
From the 47 of Springs, 1st and 10. Weber. Or Bauer, I beg your pardon.
Yep.
Careens his way and gets smacked in Cardinals territory at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, designed quarterback draw.
Drag down low and then the smack up high.
Mason Girth, number 72, is in that outside backer now.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Oh.
John Kuhn.
And he took a hit right in the beginning, but hung in there.
Yeah, Cards have seen a lot of Kuhn on that little inside handoff.
Yes.
He's burned them a couple times. 2 touchdown runs tonight. One that was called back. And they jumped on him that time.
You see him more in his slot receiver role now.
3rd down and 6. Bauer to Kuhn, who gets the first down. Just a determined run after the catch by 22.
Yeah. And if you're Mayville, you got to know where 22 is all the time. I mean, they put him out. They're not putting him out there for decoration. I mean, he's a ball receiver, one of your open field guys. You want to get him the ball out in space.
Under 4.5 in regulation. 1st and 10 Springs. Lucas looking for running room on the edge and finds it. Lucas stayed in bounds for a while and then tippy toes out of bounds, but damage done. Ball at the 29.
Yeah, move the chains. Again, this could be a huge loss or it can be a big gain, and it turns out to be the latter. Springs making use of the speed of their athletes.
Yeah, getting them the football and letting them go to work. Fresh set of downs for the Ledgers. Bauer.
Yeah, quarterback draw again.
He'll get a couple. Stacked up at the 27. Now again, your freshman kicker at Springs is Bentley Coots. He replaced another freshman kicker, Lucas Babler. Bob Hyland told us that both kids were really good kickers, even though they were freshmen. So he's got confidence, but certainly would love a touchdown rather than rest your fate on a foot. 2nd down and 8 here. Bauer again. Still bouncing. And tough to bring down all night long. He's going to make this 3rd down and 1 now, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're St. Mary Springs, you're feeling pretty good right now. you can move this thing, take the time off the clock, keep moving the chains, and either put it in the end zone or give your kicker a chip shot. They're getting close to that range right now.
And time is of the essence, too. You can see 3 minutes to go in regulation. Third and a long one here. They get it to Koenigs. Not a lot of carries tonight, but a big one there to get him a first down.
Yeah, that's a huge one, right up the gut.
First down.
JT.
Yeah, you see right up the gut, getting people on people, keeping Hardesty off of him until he gets down and moves the chains.
Timeout Mayville. As Springs gets a first down now just outside of the 10-yard line. Time for the defense of Mayville to get an earful here, trying to fire them up to.
Yeah.
If what you want to do, Dan, if you're Mayville, is keep them out of the end zone for obvious reasons, but you want to put it on the fate of the freshman kicker.
Absolutely.
For Springs to beat you.
Absolutely. They got to sell out here and keep them out of the end zone. You know, hence the use of the timeouts. I mean, Springs could run this thing down to nothing.
Mayville with just one timeout remaining. Springs has a pair, but right now they're happy to run clock. You see where the football is positioned between the 11 and 12.
Yeah, I expect to see the ball in Bauer's hands most of the time, either as a runner. Oh.
Koenigs! Touchdown! No flags this time. It'll stick. And JT, his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, puts Springs back in front.
Yeah, has not had many carries tonight, but boy, the last couple have been huge.
Yeah,
Look at the blocking up front.
Oh,
man, Noah Mole. Again, Caden Pitts. Guys did a great job up front.
Lead is 5, and Springs will go for 2 here. Trying to bump it to 7.
The Ledgers to go for 2.
Bauer. And he did not get it, no. So, Mayville will need a touchdown to win this football game because the lead is only 5 here. You've got 2:40 left and 1 timeout remaining to the Cardinals.
They're going to need something on this return. Again, he got stuffed. Weiglein doing a great job up front. Jordan Schlender coming from the secondary.
JT Koenigs, who got that touchdown run, a well-documented story in the Fond du Lac area. His younger brother, Tommy, 16 years old, killed in a car accident back in January. He would have been the starting running back.
Yeah.
He was a talented kid, played hockey as well, and that, along with some nagging injuries, it certainly has weighed on the mind of JT.
Absolutely.
Big-time plays on the last 2 runs, however, to put his football team back in front. Now, Cards trying to answer here in the 4th quarter. This is Borchard on the return. Draws a crowd, down he goes, 32-yard line.
Yep, going to need at least one big chunk play to get this thing going.
Now you've got some time to run the football, but not a whole lot.
No, and the wing T is not characteristically a passing offense.
But you're right, somehow through the air or on the ground, they need a big chunk. try it this way with a little screen to Schlender.
Giertig. It's every time they need a play, Giertig is over there.
Yep.
It looks like he's got a lane to go. All of a sudden, boop, he's down. Here it is. Got the ball out in space. Looks like he's going to go somewhere. Oh, from behind, Giertig, ankle tackle.
He and Kuhn must have been cloned on defense for Springs.
Man.
They've been everywhere. Got 5, 2nd and 5, 2 minutes to go in regulation. They go on the ground, and this time Hardesty's going nowhere. And the clock rolls. Precious time rolling. Cards got to hurry, and they've got 3rd and 6.
Yeah, nothing doing here. They're getting changing the line of scrimmage there.
That's where they were hoping they get the big pop, the big chunk play you were talking about.
Yeah.
3rd down, Mayville. Toss it. Little trickery. Schlender had no one to throw to downfield. He got the 1st down, however. He'll stop the clock for a moment at the 42. Springs was aware that there might be some hocus pocus going on.
Yeah, you got a reverse pass you're trying to set up. It's pretty tough, though. Only had one receiver downfield.
Whistles and timeout Springs. They didn't have the personnel set there.
No.
Once the chain gang got set, the clock rolled again, and Bob Highland and the Ledgers want to get all the personnel straight here. You see the time, 1 timeout remaining for each team now in a 5-point ball game. Coming up, our Jolly Good Soda Player of the Game after the game goes final. It's brought to you by Jolly Good Soda. Crack open the good times and savor the flavor with Jolly Good Soda. They put the pop in Wisconsin. John Pearson will do the honors down on the field. We told John, since it's his birthday today, that he was supposed to bring treats. He did not. Maybe we'll get him a Jolly Good Soda when it's all said and done. 1st and 10 Cards.
Oh, that could have ended it.
Almost did.
Yeah.
Noah Mole.
Tried to pull a Hardesty. He was reading the quarterback, jumped the route. That could have been 6 the other way right here.
Still life for Mayville with a minute left. 2nd and 10 at the 43. Rodman rolling. Squares up, throws, in traffic, it's caught.
Wow, Thorson.
Thorson at the 45, 1st down. Clock stops for a moment.
Yeah, nice job, especially rolling to your left. Get your hips around. Delivers a strike to Thorson. Clocks it.
Yeah, clock it there. Save that timeout. You have 1 remaining. And now Rodman over to talk to Scott Hilber here. Get right in that ear hole. You're in Springs territory. You're giving your offense a chance here to at least take a couple shots into the end zone. Got to get them closer, though.
Got to move the chains at least 1 more time.
Yeah, and Scott Hilber aware of that, looking for that play. Rolling right this time. Dancing out of trouble, and then in trouble. Tackled and thrown down for a sack. Humpner again.
Yeah, Winston Humfer again, you know, not tall, but boy, is he a load in the middle. You can see they just, Rodman steps up. You think he's got a shot, but then Humfer's right there.
Timeout Mayville. Yep. They're out of them. And running out of opportunities here. You got a 3rd and 17. I mean, they need the first down to get the clock stopped and to keep this alive, because anything short, you can't clock it on 4th down.
No.
So that's out of the equation.
No, they're calling 2 plays here.
Yes.
You can imagine, yeah.
Try to get it, but if you don't get it and you're in bounds, that clock's going to roll. So you got to get back to the line on 4th down and run the play. See what Scott Hilberg dials up here from midfield. They need a big chunk. They need the 33-yard line on 3rd and 17. Rodman. Trouble.
Oh, man. It looked like Jordan's had it.
And Schlender was hoping it would trickle off his fingertips and into his hands. He's waiting on the backside, Dan, hoping.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, see?
Yeah.
They both touched it.
Jordan Schlender was like right there.
And if Schlender gets it, that's a first down.
Yeah, Riley Brunner must have got a fingertip on it.
Well, this is your ball game here.
This is it.
4th and 17. Rodman, deep drop, throw in traffic, and it's incomplete. Whole bunch of white and blue downfield, and Springs will stay unbeaten. They got a tussle and a half here from Mayville tonight. They always do.
Yep.
But Bob Hyland is going to get, boy, I got to add it up, win number 511.
Wow.
And the Ledgers will go to 8-0, 6-0 in the flyway. If Winnebago Lutheran takes care of business Friday night, then you're going to have a battle of unbeatens Week 9 at Winnebago Lutheran for the conference crown.
Yeah, one kneel down and that'll do it.
There's the kneel down, and that will do it. But you see the love and the respect. Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
There is lots of that between these two football programs. And for the first time in 4 seasons, Springs wins this contest. And it goes final, 26-21. Some good football played here, Dan. Some good runs.
Really.
Some good hits.
Yeah, old-fashioned football.
Yeah.
I mean, they're rock'em sock'em football.
They'll line it up and shake hands. John Pearson's getting in position.
Yeah, and as you said, Bob, you can just see in the exchange line here the mutual respect for these programs.
22.
We'll take a timeout, step aside. When we come back, our Jolly Good Soda Player of the Game. Celebration time for someone at Springs. They win at 26-21.
I think when anybody comes onto our farm, they see how family-oriented we are. Having the 3 generations all at one dinner table, it's just a really fun time to spend as a family. I would love to see them someday taking over the farm as well. You know, that's a farmer's ultimate dream, to see it pass on to the hands of the next generation.
Support Wisconsin dairy farmers. Buy Wisconsin cheese and dairy.
All right, let's go, baby. Mind over matter. You don't mind, it don't matter. Nobody ever drowned in sweat. Let's go, baby. Let's go. All right, I'm pleasantly impressed by that.
We celebrate the athletes, the buzzer beaters, the record breakers, the wins. Now, it's time to celebrate the people behind it all. The advice givers, the community shapers, the game changers, the life changers. It's time to celebrate our coaches. Join all of us at BSN Sports and show your coach some love by sharing their story with #ThankYouCoach.
(26-21) the final score here in Mayville as Springs stays unbeaten. They run the record to 8-0, still perfect in conference play as well. Bob Highland gets win number 511. No one in the state has won that many football games. He just keeps on keeping on. While we have a chance, before we head down to John Pearson for our Jolly Good Soda Player of the Game, we can tell you that Week 9 will be our final Thursday night Throwdown game. It'll be next Thursday in Racine. Southeast Conference matchup between the Racine Case Eagles and the Kenosha Indian Trail. Eagles? Is it Eagles?
Hawks.
Hawks, yeah.
Hawks.
Whew. Scared me there for a
Yeah,
second.
you know, like Whitewater.
Right. Oh, there. Had to get that in. Hawks and Eagles.
Yes.
That's Week 9 next Thursday on the Throwdown. All right, John Pearson, the birthday boy, has been surrounded by ledgers.
All right, guys. Well, this is probably the hardest hitting game we've had all year long, and I've already looked into it. There's 2 quick trips right nearby for ice baths for you guys here. And John, let me start with you tonight. John Kuhn joining us. I mean, you took a beating, but you kept getting it, but didn't rub it off when you get a hit. Was this the hardest hitting game, and why were you able to pull it off?
For sure. I mean, I just want to do it for my boys and go out there and win. I mean, this is a tough team, so I just want to go out there and help my guys. So.
And it always looked like whichever team was behind looked absolutely confident that they could respond here. Is that how it felt? That it didn't look like anybody would needed a pep talk in this one. It was just, yep, we're going to do it.
Yeah, it was so back and forth. There was so much energy. It was a fun night. So.
All right, Max, let me ask you about this too, because you guys did throw new guys at him a little bit. It looked like it was going to be the John Kuhn show for a while, but then that last drive, you needed a couple plays from guys who hadn't touched the ball in a few minutes there.
Yep. I mean, a lot of it was the John Kuhn show. He did the best he could, but yeah, we like to spread the ball around. We got a lot of good speed, so that's what we like. That's what we like to do.
Was it tougher? Because you've had a lot of blowouts. You guys have been able to dominate, especially on the defensive side. To have to respond in a close game like this, does it add a little something, a little even more confidence that you could go up against a tough team like this?
Yeah, there's always a little bit extra, especially against Mayville, because they always come every single year and play harder against us. So we know we had to come out and every drive slam it and do the best we can.
Okay, and where was that confidence coming from? Because it looked like a couple times they were starting to get your number. Where did the confidence come from?
I mean, it just came around from the whole entire team's energy. If the team has energy, everybody else should. It can't just come from one person.
Okay, and finally, what do you see for this team? Obviously, next week's a great game as well. Yeah. What are you feeling as you, besides sore, what do you feel?
I'm feeling like we need to work hard this next week at practice, take it one day at a time, recover, and hopefully get them on Friday. So.
All right, the guys have done so well tonight. Even though they're seniors, I think they're going to bring him back as student council president and treasurer next year, guys. An amazing performance tonight on both sides, but St. Mary Springs gets the win.
Thank you, John. Thank you, guys. Yeah, it was a special football game that everybody brought the energy and the hard hits. And, yeah, it was typical Mayville Springs football. It ends, though, with a Springs victory as the Ledgers stay unbeaten through the first 8 weeks of the regular season. That'll do it for all of us here at Mayville. For Dan Brunner, John Pearson, and our entire terrific crew here in Mayville, Bob Brainerd saying so long. Once again, the final score, it's Springs winning it by 5, 26-21. Again, next Thursday night, the Throwdown comes to Racine, Wisconsin, as Racine Case takes on Kenosha Indian Trail. Kickoff is 7 p.m. on Thursday. Have a great night, Wisconsin.